So right away, neither player is going for the attempted wheel cycle. They attempted a wheel cycle early. They're just going to carry on with powerless strats. thiivdan getting dinged by Spark. That's going to hurt. So thiivdan going for a quick refill. Got a little turned around there, trying to get through the exit in 1-1. So 1-2. Again, early platforming, if you're going to do this powerless, can be fairly precise. Got the double there for Poppy Brothers, no problem. thiivdan also setting it up. And there he goes. That's an easy one-hit kill on the mini-boss. And that actually, in the NES version of this game, Kirby's Adventure, that would have taken 2 hits to take out Poppy Brothers. So, little note. Answer a question in chat. Are emulators allowed? Yes, some emulators, I believe, are permitted for this tournament. I think the rules have a list of which are allowed and which are not. But yes, emulators are permitted. So, MMO in 1.3 has got Burning, which is the ability you're going to see them use a lot of throughout this run. Which is an interesting contrast to the NES version, which is almost a tornado simulator. This game, the optimal speed strats you're going to see require them to use a variety of abilities. MMO kind of taking it a little slow there to finish 1-3 at the end. thiivdan is 1 room behind. So, using the recoil there to take out the mini-boss in 1-4, nicely done. MMO might stop for that health refill, he does. So a little breathing room. thiivdan and... Ooh, thiivdan got hit off the recoil. Going for the finishing blow, did not get it. Has to go back, and there he goes. So a little trouble there for thiivdan in 1-4 at the start. He is not... Oh, I think he was thinking about going for the health refill. Ooh, he takes a death. He was going for the health refill. Unfortunately, the enemy's recycled, and so he loses burning, and it's been a rough start for him. He's taking a lot of damage trying to navigate through the enemies here. Not exactly what you want to see for a start. And man, he's just having all sorts of trouble. MMO finishes off Wispy. No problem there. It's a pretty easy fight with Burning. Just keep hitting rapid succession. You got it. So he's going to be out at 349. So a decent start for the first world. thiivdan's finished with 1-4. Going to have to do this powerless unless he wants to stop at the museum for a sword. Ooh, MMO was trying to get around the bomb, the crash bomb, didn't quite work. thiivdan is actually going back to 1-3. I think he's gonna go get Burning back. It's a bit of a detour, unfortunately. MMO, meanwhile, has finished off 2-1, so he's got a nice little lead building here. Good fight from thiivdan to take down Wispy, but he's over a minute behind at 4:56 on the Vegetable Valley exit. Meanwhile, MMO is the early stages of 2-2. He's about to take on Wheelie. He's got a Spark. Okay, he's going for the double here. No problem. So he's going to use Wheel for the rest of this level and into 2-3. thiivdan just kind of power damage boosting his way through a lot of these enemies. Helps himself to Tornado, which could be a pretty useful ability. There we go. So there's a one-stage difference between the runners at this point. Lot of game left to be played, and a little surprised thiivdan didn't just use Tornado there, but he carry on. MMO is in the underwater section 2-3, which in the NES version generally skip using an ability. That's not that's not possible here, so this the long way, so to speak. Ooh, thiivdan was going for the double, didn't quite get it. Mistimed it, so trouble getting that timing. There it is. MMO is in the arena battle, the first 5 in the game. It's actually, interestingly enough, easier to do this as those as regular Kirby by and large. And MMO does a nice job taking care of 2-3. thiivdan's just about finished with 2-2. We had a couple of stumbles here and there, but managed to get through. 2-4. The mini boss ahead for our for MMO. thiivdan entering 2-3. So yeah, not sure what MMO is trying to do here. He's going for a double. Okay, he's getting Spark, which is a good ability to have for the mini boss fight. Makes it a very quick fight. thiivdan holding on to Wheel. Moment. Nice bit of platforming there by MMO to sort of thread the needles, so to speak. Hold on to Spark for a little bit longer. He's probably going to give it up in 2-5. thiivdan. Oof. Continuing to take a lot of damage from the enemies here. The iframes in this game are not especially forgiving, so you can't just kind of sort of muscle your way through some at times. But he's doing a good job here to start off with the arena fight. Nicely done. MMO's in 2-5. Get Wheel back, and then he's going to switch that after a short stretch and use a high jump. Ooh, he actually got a double, so it's great. And he got Ball, which is great, except that's not exactly what you need right now. You need Wheel for that end of that section, and this sort of imbalanced section. Gonna use powerless strats. He's taking a lot of damage too, so it's not just thiivdan taking abuse here, but he's gonna hold on to high jump, I think, all the way through to at least like 3-3 or something, if 3-3-3-4 if you can help it, because butter building has a lot of vertical sections. So first, you got to get through Paint Roller. This is one of those fights where it's all about position. Just get yourself close enough to where you can damage a Paint Roller without, getting hit. And very nice fight by MMO. Take down Paint Roller. Making good time so far. The 942 exit out of Ice Cream Island. Butter building is going to be the level where things are going to start to get a little more challenging for the players. because of the vertical strats, and on top of that, they're going to be forced. Ooh, MMO accidentally got rid of his star, so he's got to do this normally now, and he's got himself into a bit of a box there. Not a great start to World 3, but ooh, he takes the death to TikTok. That's unfortunate. We have to do this again as normal. thiivdan's got a chance to catch up a little bit here. Mmohasa's not getting a very good pattern from Mini-Boss, but he finally gets rid of him, so he's going to switch to burning for this last part of 3-1. thiivdan, I'm a little surprised he's not going with high jump strats here. Well, now he can't. Accidentally got rid of all of the, there it is. There we go. I know he's trying to go for the, health drop, but it's wasting valuable seconds here. Oh, that was an unfortunate lapse on his part, so he's going to have to do this again. So struggles early, often, I'm afraid, for our two runners. MMO lost high jump for 3-2, so he's got to do this vertical section horizontal in the NES game as a result. So paint roller is up for thiivdan. MMO's grinding through 3-2, which will end with the more infamous mini-bosses in the Kirby franchise, Bugsy. He got a sword, so he's got a decent offensive weapon to do damage, but thiivdan kind of taking it slow with paint roller, almost to the point of being at a detriment. Ball. One more hit for, there we go. MMO, trying to deal with Bugsy, who's making life difficult for him with, suplexes. And just decides to forego the whole idea of spitting it back out and just, absorbing the sword, just gets on with it. So good end to 3-2 for, MMO. thiivdan finished, World 2 with a 12-23. MMO going for a reset here to get his lives and health back. Ooh, thiivdan, I don't know what he was doing there. I got the part about trying to, get the star and then the note, but I think he was hoping for something that didn't end up happening. 3-3, one of the shortest levels in the game, no problem for MMO. thiivdan, one hit away from finishing off TikTok. Not getting very good RNG from TikTok, which is making this a more problematic. A lot less friendly in the GBA version than he is in the NES. Okay, he's done. MMO in 3-4, another arena fight. I think this is one of the shortest fights, actually. I think this is the shortest. Nice double to finish it off. Fortunately, they don't give you any end abilities. So, going to be a health refill here for MMO to 3-4. thiivdan's done with 3-1. TikTok hurt both of them pretty good in 3-1. That's interesting. See him again in 4-6. 3-2 underway for thiivdan. MMO about 3 levels ahead right now. 3-5. He's going to make a pit stop to get high jump. I think he could have inhaled that through the wall. I'm not sure, but health refill nonetheless. MMO's going to have hyper for 3-5, and with a combination of high jump and hyper, should be able to get to bonkers. Take a couple of free hits on him. Does. Having a little trouble timing his Ooh, he tried to go for the... Tried to get him with the high jump star, but he was jumped as he fired, so unfortunately for him... thiivdan, nice job getting the extra life and the health refill for Bugsy. He was down to 0 lives. Unfortunately, he runs right into Bugsy. Bugsy does a little suplex, and now he's just, being cruel. Oof. thiivdan not quite mastering the distance and getting too close or he's too far away, and he is in deep trouble here. 3-2. There he goes. Nice finish by thiivdan, getting Bugsy kind of boxed into the corner there. Ooh, unfortunately takes a death at the end of 3-2, so I'll have to power through this. Pretty straightforward. Memo almost finished with 3-6. Go for a health refill before taking on Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. Good start against ooh. Oh, he was trying to go for a star kill. Unfortunately, well, he's just getting pummeled all over the place. Trying to do too much, and it's starting to add oh, he had it again, and there was another last second jump stopped him. He was finally done. Kind of a rough World 3 for MMO, who finishes it out with a 1730. Still has a comfortable lead over thiivdan, who has had all sorts of trouble in his run today. Alright, so World 4, Grape Garden, is gonna be an interesting test, just largely because there are a lot of very different, oh, MMO takes Spark way through the floor with him. Anyway, a lot of different styles of levels. You got some really close quarter levels, and you've got some really wide open levels, and sometimes the two run on top of each other, so it's gonna be an interesting test for them to see what they try to accomplish here. And then we'll arming himself with Tornado. Ooh, lost it at the end. Decides not to go back for it though. thiivdan at bonkers now. Nice bonkers fight by thiivdan. MMO in 4-2 now. Another level with a lot of narrow and tricky platforming that they'll have to navigate here. So far, MMO seems to be doing a decent job of it. Avoiding hitboxes and just doing a nice job of keeping movement crisp. Oh, he got hit, and there goes the star. There. Spike, which is an automatic end. So nice, good idea to use Spark here to just basically spam on the two Poppy brothers. Finish 4-2. Nicely done. Spark certainly does have that potential benefit in certain situations, for sure. Certainly in this version, that was not the case in the NES version. I know that. MMO in 4.3, a very interesting mix of open sort of exploration with the airships or the zeppelins, and then going into the turbines, if you will. thiivdan dealing with Mr. Shine, Mr. Bright, not having a good start, was trying to get a star, but mistimed it on a couple of occasions, and now he has better luck here. Ooh, he got it. Okay, and there it goes. Nice fight from thiivdan, but he's still got a bit of a gap to overcome here. He's about half a world behind right now. As he finishes Butter Building at 21:09, so he's almost 4 minutes behind. He entered Great Gardens, so a little trouble getting through the door there and start at 4-1. MMO, nice use of wheel, getting ahead of the explosions. See if he's going to go for a double here. Okay, he's going to... Ooh, thiivdan taking a death in the UFO section of 4-1. Ooh, MMO almost had Fanfy down for the count, but unfortunately didn't quite work out that way. So he's going to have to do this again. He might take... I bet he takes a hard reset here. After the end of oh, thiivdan! That's unfortunate. Going right through the floor, almost in a similar but different way than MMO. MMO did it with Spark. Down to his last life, so he's got to be careful. Well, trying to hold on to... Have a little trouble with the platforming here at the start of 4-5. Hyper. thiivdan is going to carry on without taking a reset. That's interesting. 4-5 is, I think, really the only place where you really want to have an ability, because throw makes this go so much faster. MO problem there, so he's going to go switch to burning now. Final half of 4-5. This room he's in right now is a pretty frustrating one, I know, for a lot of runners, because the way the enemies just randomly drop and fall like that. So 1-up for MMO as he finishes it off. And like MMO, thiivdan's just gonna spam Spark to no end against the Poppy Brothers. MMO losing burning there, unfortunately. 4-6, the underwater section. Thought he might entertain the idea of going for the health refill. He does not. Now he gets faced off against TikTok and hoping it goes better than last time. Death 3-1. It actually just goes about as poorly. He takes a death. So now he's going to have to do this as normal Kirby with no lives. So he's got to be careful. Gets a double there. Nicely done. One more hit and that should do it. Goes. And thiivdan finally does take the hard reset after 4-3. Good idea. Oh. Seems like he's getting a little closer, but 4-4 to 4-6 are longer levels in general, so I'm not really sure how much ground, if any, thiivdan has gained. MMO does take the hard reset. MMO about to face off against Kracko. Pretty easy boss with high jump. Question, because most of the time Kracko is well above the top of the arena. Far so good for MMO. thiivdan taking care of Fanfi, and MMO has finished off Kracko. Despite some of the tribulations, a good world fourth for MMO finishes it out at 26-21. Now he's in Yogurt Yard. Which does come with its own kind of interesting and unique challenges that they'll have to navigate here. But it's also a good showcase for a lot of different abilities throughout, and we'll see how MMO handles this. MMO's making okay time right now. I saw his race against Rocks, and he's about a minute behind that time as of right now, but plenty of room for improvement for sure. See how he does here in 5-2. He's got the balls, so he's going to be putting that to good use against Bonkers. thiivdan decides to muscle through the end of 4-5. MMO's about 2/3 of the way done with 5-2. Another hard reset for thiivdan. Lives health back. Ooh, MMO having a little trouble getting the ball to work. There it is. Second time around works just fine. Good 5-2 from MMO. thiivdan in 4-6. And Slow got the sword, so he's ready to go against TikTok. Hopefully this goes better than it did for MMO. Actually, get death here. He's got a good start going. There it is. Nice fight from thiivdan. MMO again facing kind of grim health situation with only one health. He's got to be careful. 5-3 at the end, of course, has the spike arena. He's going to take an intentional death there. Not the worst idea. Got to reset for the rest of this level, since there are some somewhat perilous situations. But thiivdan is insistent on getting that high jump. Kind of interesting. Could have gotten it at the start of 4-6, at the start of the boss fight, without really losing anything. But it's this. Well, at the end of 5-3 here, he's gonna take it slow going down. Wants to hold on to wheel, although it's not going to be used for very much longer. Because he's going to switch over to burning for the start of 5-4. Help him navigate through the arena to the arena stage a lot quicker. thiivdan underway with Kracko here. Let me get a quick... Oh, he got electrocuted there, so that's unfortunate, so... Gotta be a little careful here. He is only at 2 health. Nice fight from thiivdan after kind of a rocky start. So he's going to be a little over 4 minutes behind with a time of 30:26. Another arena fight for MMO. Ooh, he's having a little trouble timing his moves correctly. But does finish it off. 5-4. Now we get to the ball section of 5-4, which is quite something to see, but it does take some time and practice to get right, and MMO's not really interested in that. He's just going to carry on with as powerless. And to answer a question chat from KTAP, Mmohasa leads by about 3 stages right now. 5-4. Just finished 5-4, and thiivdan just entered 5-2. Well, underway in 5-5. Interesting level with kind of the opening, and then of course the mini boss fight. The Fire Lion. So we'll see how that goes. He's trying to go for gets the doubles. So fortunately, did not get a good. I think he was hoping to use it. Make a quick work of the boss, and actually in a way he does with Cutter. Not exactly an ability you see very often in a speed run, but it worked very effectively, I must say. So very nice job by MMO to make that work. MMO finishes 5-5. thiivdan remains about 3 stages behind, going into 5-3. 5-6, pretty much a wheel simulator. We'll see if MMO decides to go back at the end of this for try and get a cycle for a hammer to make the fight against Heavy Mole a little easier. Good 5-6. I'm sure MMO's going to take a hard reset here. Get his health back up for Heavy Mole. Yep. And he is going to go attempt for the cycle. Does not get it. Although high jump actually wouldn't have been a bad backup as far as abilities are concerned. But gets it on the second try. So all ready and raring to go for Heavy Mole. With Hammer, this is pretty much, I wouldn't say easy, but it's a lot. It's pretty. As long as you don't get hit by the grinders, you shouldn't have any trouble. Good fight from MMO. thiivdan in the arena in World 5. So MMO continuing to make good progress. 34-21 finish, so exactly 8 minutes in World 5. thiivdan holding on to ball, but he's not going to use it to platform across the waterfalls. Probably is going to use it at the end of 5-4. 6-1 underway, most of the way done for MMO, which is one of the more notoriously difficult stages to speed run because of, you know, flying enemies, you know, trying to ruin your life. And then, you know, swordsman at the end of 6-1, just, you know, making all sorts of trouble for you. Well, gets his revenge, and is done with 6-1. Comment from chat, never played many Kirby games? Well, Kirby franchise has always been a fun one for me. Playing them pretty much since they first came out, and they are fun. I mean, it is an interesting variation on the platforming model. By and large, they've done a very good job. My favorite still remains Kirby's Adventure for the NES, but this is a pretty credible remake overall. And they obviously didn't change very much, if at all. And as far from a level design standpoint, there are a few new actual sections here, but overall they didn't change very much. So good backup there by MMO. He wants to hold on to Tornado for as long as possible in World 6. thiivdan actually getting the wheel, the hammer on the cycle a little earlier than anticipated. Trying to get that wheel back, but not going to work out from where he's at, so MMO is going to hold on to ooh, thiivdan going through the floor there, and that's unfortunate for him. He's going to have to do this platforming again. And actually, if you run straight through without jumping, you should be fine. It's a good strat to learn. It's a good thing you pick up on that pretty quickly if you've ever run this game powerless. This or Kirby's Adventure. Yes, MMO has held about a 3-stage lead for quite a while now. Well, just about done with 6-3. Just finished off 6-3. thiivdan trying to get the mix here for there it is, and gets it for a couple of mistimed plays, so he's on his way to heavy mole. Take it nice and slow here. There it goes. See? Yeah, it's saying Tornado is an awesome power. It is, and while it doesn't get quite as much utility as it does in the NES version, it's still very important, particularly in World 6, because it really speeds through a lot of these sections. Second time around for Coconut Climb works for MMO, and he's going to sail through the last of 6-4 here. thiivdan just about done with 6-1. Going to try and hold on to Burning for a little bit longer, but he's having his platforming is a little off here, but he's going to get through without dying, which is nice to see. MMO almost lost Tornado there. 6-5 is, I think, the shortest stage in World 6. There's really nothing to it. It's 4 short rooms. So this shouldn't be a little more challenging if you're trying to 100% the game, but since that's not being asked of our runners today. Sword Kirby is awesome. Well, Sword Kirby will get his moment to shine in a moment. MMO, the UFO section of 6-6 can be a little challenging just because the UFOs do tend to have a mind of their own as far as how they want to do things. thiivdan doing pretty much an identical strat to MMO to keep Tornado while getting a health refill. One more room, and then he can go on to the final arena fight. Well, 2 more rooms, but... Oh! I think he was trying to land on Blade Knight's head with his... With Kirby's head. It didn't quite work. He hadn't quite turned his head yet. That's an unfortunate death. Okay. thiivdan taking on Bonkers in 6-3. Nice finish to that fight. Flies right to the top, just like he planned it. Final arena fight can be a little precarious just because you are dealing with ice physics. Top of everything else, but a good fight from MMO, I'm sure, is again going to take that hard reset. Be ready so it doesn't accidentally game over with Meta Knight. Good opening hit there from MMO to start the fight off. Getting decent RNG right now from Meta Knight, who only blocked, I think, a couple of swings. So it's going to be about a 42 and 40 something, 41 for MMO going into Rainbow Resort. That's actually 24 seconds ahead of the race that I saw against Rocks about 10 days ago. So ahead of the curve here. Not quite on PB pace, I don't think, but with a really good world at 7, who knows? PB is 56-12. thiivdan in 6-4. Like MMO, trying to keep that tornado for as long as he can. And MMO did keep it all the way to 6-6, so... You know. Ooh, MMO was trying to keep his sword. It didn't quite go, but going for a double here. I think he was trying to go for a double. Didn't quite work out. Mistimed it rather badly, so... Ooh, I think he was going for it again. Didn't get it. Got beam instead. Timing is a bit off with these plays. We got sword to finish it off, so he's going to take sword into the gauntlet. 7-2. First up is Bonkers. Going to take Bonkers' hammer for his fight against Bugsy. See how this goes. Oh no, that's not Bugsy, it's Fan. Then it's Bugsy. Excuse me. Even a kind of a respectful distance from Fan there. Finishes him off. Now we got Bugsy and... Fire Lion last up here. Good gauntlet from MMO. Really gunning through those. Nice double there by thiivdan, finishing off 2 mini-bosses at the same time using a double. So that worked out very well. What system is this on? This is on the GBA. It was released for the Game Boy Advance in 2002. It's a remake of Kirby's Adventure, which was released for the NES in 1993. Final arena fight for thiivdan. Got a couple enemies left. Gonna take it nice and slow. Good idea. Not want to do this again if you can help it. Mmohasa in 7-3 of the last hyper of the game. No surprise there. thiivdan taking his hard reset for his fight with Meta Knight. Getting a little got a little trouble there with Meta Knight towards the end, but no problem. So, ooh. Well, Luke. Lost his burning, but he's just gonna powerless mode. So 46-39 for thiivdan through 6 worlds, so he's about just under 4 minutes behind. Which is about where he's been since Grape Garden. The end of Grape Garden was about 4 minutes behind. He had a really kind of a rough start at the outset, and never quite got ahead of steam going. And neither players played perfectly, and thiivdan had some opportunities to close the gap, but unfortunately some mistakes on his side allowed MMO to have a pretty comfortable lead, really, since about Ice Cream Island. That's the way it goes sometimes. Good 7-4 from MMO. Yeah, it's a ball Kirby's hard to use. Yes, it is. It's not something that you really want to, really have to work on mastering it. It's not something just kind of go willy-nilly on, but thiivdan's doing a pretty good job so far. He took care of Bonkers and Fan pretty easily with Ball. He's got to be careful with Bugsy, though. Bugsy can and will do things like, you know, suplex you. There he goes. Nice fight. That's 3 down. Firelining MMO in the wind tunnel. Everybody's favoriteest section. Nice dodge there by MMO. A couple of nice dodges. thiivdan taking care of Firelion. Nicely done. Yeah, the wind tunnel is notorious, I know, among the Kirby speedrunning community. It's not... It's something you learn out of necessity, and it still gives you heartache. So we got a nice sync there of the Kirby dance. They are 3 levels apart right now, as MMO's about to start 7-6, or the Kirby's Dreamland revisit in 2 minutes. Maybe not quite that long, but it is actually surprisingly one of the longest levels of the game, because it is basically recapping Kirby's Adventure in the Cliffs Notes. pretty generous level. Yeah, 7.6 is I know, a particular favorite for many players. I was not going to bother with getting burning back. Might want to be a little more careful with his platforming, though. So, as a reminder, immediately after this race, we will have the second half of our doubleheader between Faster Supersonic and Nacho Brado. So stick around. If you enjoyed this race, we got another really good one coming up. Mo is in the Bubbly Clouds section of 7.6. One more room. I think he's going to go... I imagine he's going to go for the ball here. So, MMO is actually in pretty good shape right now. I mentioned he had a 56.12 PB. He is actually, I think, on pace to beat that. If all goes well with DDD, I think we could be looking... first he's got to get the ball, and then he's got to get out of there. I think he could be on pace for a PB. Only at 51.31. See how DDD treats him. It's like Bugsy, EDD can and will cause trouble. Ooh. And he is causing trouble. MMO's trying to do a little too much. Nice double there. Gotta be careful. He's only got a couple more hits on DDD, but... one more should do it. There he goes. Down goes DDD. About 52-17. So now, home stretch for MMO. Good news is with the orb, there isn't really any RNG to this. This is all just knowing the pattern and just spamming B button as much as you possibly can to get to the next section. There is that, but you do have to watch your damage, though. Alright, so there goes the orb. thiivdan navigating the wonderful wind tunnel just fine. The good news is with Nightmare is there is no RNG to this. This is all pretty much the same pattern. So, okay, MMO is going to take an intentional death here just to hedge his bets. I get it. But if he gets the first oh, he had it and he lost it. He inhaling when he shouldn't have been. I think MMO realizes, yeah, this is a potential PB here. But he shouldn't have any trouble achieving it, so long as he keeps his head about him. 3 more hits, and that'll do it. thiivdan's in 7.6, about halfway through the Kirby's Dream Land Remembrance Tour. One more should do it against Nightmare. Your GG's ready. That will do it. Mmohasa finishes with an official SRL time of 54:37. So GG's. And that is, I believe, that is a PB for MMO, yes. I did confirm before the match that his PB was in fact 56-12, so kudos to MMO for a very solid run. He did very well down the stretch. Dan's got the ball ready. He's ready for a fight with DDD. See how he did a very good job with the ball in 7-2. So it's having a little trouble here at the outset with DDD. He's having trouble with his jump physics. Can't hit him while he's jumping too. And he's just getting all sorts of beat up here. Oh, he had him! Oh, had him and he lost it. That's unfortunate, so he's going to have to do this again. Looked like he was going to rally for this. Not doing so good. There he goes. Nicely done by thiivdan. Take care of DDD, so he's out at 56-32, so breaks sub-hour. And we welcome our winner of today's match, Mmohasa, to the chat. GG.
Hey, GG.
Well, there were some occasional struggles here and there, but down the stretch, though, it did seem like you really kind of found a rhythm. I think around like Yogurt Yard, I think really seemed like everything was kind of coming together for you.
Yeah, I was actually pretty pleased with the two first worlds, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
And then I picked it up at the end.
Yeah, butter building caused both of you some real grief. Yogurt Yard, Grape Garden to a certain extent as well, but you know, after that, it seemed like I know for you, things like settled down, and you were able to really kind of get things going.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that I got a sub 55. That was my goal.
And you know, a lot of room for improvement too, I'd say.
Yes, very much so.
I mean, you know, it's like now you've kind of got that as a baseline. Now you know what you can improve on, and a lot of that stuff is pretty attainable, I think, in the next couple of matches you have going. You have one more. You definitely have one more group play match, and then who knows?
Well, I don't expect to get out of groups. I'm just happy that I at least got one win.
Yeah, sure.
I'm kind of new in the game, so I'm just very pleased right now.
thiivdan almost out of here with Nightmare. One more hit, but unfortunately he's also down to one last hit, so...
Yeah.
Ooh, he almost had he almost got him on the upside down. Ooh, he got him, but he didn't do any damage. There it is. Get the GGs out for thiivdan, who finishes with an official SRL time of 59:31.
That's not too bad either. His PB isn't that far off of that.
Yeah, he came in with a 54, but you know, it's just like it was one thing on top of another, particularly early on, unfortunately for thiivdan. But you know, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
You take you get a couple of early deaths, and or things don't quite go the way you normally expect them to, and that can just kind of cast a
And then you
pall
just
for
start
you.
tilt, and then it just goes down from there.
Yeah, that can happen. I mean, in a race setting, it's no reset, so you just kind of got to go with it, and sometimes it doesn't go with you.
Definitely.
So, and incidentally, chat, give our runners a follow today. They'd appreciate it. Some very fine play here. See if we can get thiivdan in for an interview. So, as a reminder, chat, immediately after this, we will have our next race between Nacho Brado and Faster Supersonic. So that should be a good one. Uh, so, is there anything you're going to particularly work on, you think, for your final group play race?
Well, battle building. Uh,
Hmm.
I think it's my main one right now. And then just not losing my ability every like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
That'll probably be good as well.
yeah, that did seem to be it seemed to be kind of a minor trouble for both of you. The iframes in this game, as I mentioned during the race, are not especially forgiving. Yeah, it kind of caused all sorts of trouble for you guys. Trying,
Yeah. Consistency is probably just my biggest problem right now.
yeah,
I'm all
like,
over the place.
mm, but GG's and congrats on getting into the win column in group play.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and GG to thiivdan.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks all. We'll be back in actually just a few minutes. The second half of our doubleheader will be starting in about five minutes or so. Break, get ready, and then we're gonna get on with it and get to the next race. So thanks all.